Good morning. A couple of days ago, I put a post up when I was feeling particularly nostalgic about my younger days when I was traveling by myself all over the Caribbean. I went to Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and St. Kitts by myself. I also used to often drive myself up to Ski Round Top and go skiing by myself. And I had so much freaking by myself. And I think some people may have misunderstood the real message in the post that I wrote. And sometimes it is easier when I just talk to you guys and tell you how I'm feeling and why I feel this way and my personal experiences. Here's the thing. Of course, as a human being and as someone who tries to be a good friend, if someone has an emergency and they need my help, of course they can knock on my door or call me on the phone and say, I have an emergency. But so many times, people call me on the phone to catch up at 6 at night or 5 at night, knowing damn well right that that's when I'm cooking dinner for my husband and that our dinner time is very important to us. And I do not answer my phone after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I make a habit of not doing that. And if it's an emergency, I would expect that they would leave a message that it's an emergency, there's a problem, and of course I will call them back immediately. But just to call to say hey or to catch up or whatever, no, I'm not answering that call because, see, I'm here all day long and I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I also go to bed sometimes definitely by 8 o'clock at night on weekdays. I'm in bed, sometimes on weekends too. So I'm not going to talk to anybody at 8 o'clock at night because I'm sleeping. Sometimes I go to bed at 7 o'clock, but I'm always up and at 'em and ready to go between 5 and 6 every morning. You can call me then to catch up if you're awake. I think there is an issue, and my friend Linda from England, she said that the actress Greta Garbo said, I want to be alone. Actually, what she really said was, I want to be left alone. And what she meant by that was when she chose to not be a movie star, she wanted people to leave her alone. That she didn't want to be on 24/7. That she didn't want people coming up to her for autographs and photographs and bothering her when she was trying to just enjoy a private moment. And I think we have another problem in this country. It's part of it has to do with honesty, and part of it has to do with this attitude that so many people have that if you're alone, they should feel sorry for you. If you walk into a restaurant and sit at a table for one with a good book and you can't wait to order a glass of wine and an entree you've been looking forward to, someone's going to say, are you by yourself, dear? Would you like to join us? You poor thing, eating all by yourself. No. See, I want to eat by myself. I've been looking forward to this all freaking week. You're the one who has a problem with me coming into this restaurant by myself with a good book to enjoy a meal that I didn't want to cook for myself, or I don't know how to cook for myself. I wanted to come enjoy a nice meal and read a book by myself. But for some reason, that makes all of you uncomfortable. I'm fine. I chose to do this. I made a reservation for one. I bought a good book with me. I have my meal already planned out, what I'm going to order. It's you who's uncomfortable, not me. And you just have to say something. You have to say something. It's not like I'm sitting at the restaurant by myself crying because I'm all by myself. I came prepared. I brought a book. I know what I'm ordering. I tell the waiter, glass of white Zinfandel. I'll take the filet mignon. I mean, I know what I want. I want a read my book, eat a beautiful meal, and be left alone. Like Greta Garbo said, I want to be left alone for that period of time. I don't want my friends or people I care about to think that that means I want to be alone forever and you're not welcome in my home or you're not welcome to call me. Of course you are. But I do want everyone to remember this. Just because you're bored and I happen to be around and you assume that I'm bored too, don't assume that. Because to be honest with you, I am rarely bored when I'm by myself. Saddest thing of all about my life is the most times when I'm bored is when I'm around other people. When I go somewhere and I try to talk about something and I'm immediately shut up. We don't discuss that in this company. You can't talk about that. We don't care about that. Just shut up. That bores me because basically I was invited to some place and nobody is interested in anything that I have to say. That bores me. But when I'm by myself, reading a book I'm enjoying, watching a television show I'm enjoying, working on one of my art projects, because I love to color. I do adult coloring books and I love to color. I'm not bored. And I don't need entertainment from any of you. I will never forget the most honest person, when this is where honesty comes in. Most honest person I ever met, and I'm going to share this show, I hope she sees it, was Nancy. I met her the first year I moved. We bought our trailer at Buttonwood, and Nancy was so cool. She was so fun, great woman, lovely, but she set me right. She said, I really like you, Paula. But I will tell you that when I come to Buttonwood, I don't come here to socialize. When I'm sitting in my house at night and the lights are on, it doesn't mean I want company. It means I'm reading a book, I'm relaxing. When I go to the beach, I go by myself. I go to read my book. If you see me on the beach, you can wave, but I don't want to chat. And I loved her for that. I so respected her for that. I wasn't insulted at all. Because here was a woman who liked me, who was my friend, but who also made her boundaries known. And I think that's something that's very important, to set boundaries and stick to them. For example, because of Nancy, if I go around and I knock on someone's door because I feel like talking, which I do sometimes, I will for sure say, are you busy? And I want them to tell me the truth. Because if I see they're watching a movie or they're in the middle of something, I'll be like, you know what? Hey, how you doing? I'll talk to you later. I don't want to intrude. If I see that somebody is reading a book, I'm not going to intrude. I'll say, hi, how you doing? And keep going. I won't expect them to put down their book or turn off the television because I decided to show up and I want to talk. If someone is sitting down to dinner, I'm walking away. And yet for some reason it seems like every time I'm either in the middle of cooking or we're getting ready to sit down to eat, someone either knocks on the door or calls on the phone. Now again, I told you, I don't answer the phone when we're eating dinner. That is a no, no, no. And when people do come to the door and we're getting ready to eat, I now take a lesson from my friend Nancy and I say, you know what, we're getting ready to eat. It's really nice to see you, but we'll see you later. And it works. You can be honest and set your boundaries so that your privacy is respected without insulting somebody. I'm not telling somebody who knocks on my door at a bad time because I'm in the middle of doing something, even if it's reading a book or watching a TV show. I'm not telling them I don't like them. I don't want them to ever come back. I'm saying this isn't a good time. But yet some people get insulted by that. Well, what are you doing? Watching General Hospital? Yeah. And you know what? That's important to me. It's important to me. Just if you were watching the season finale of Game of Thrones and I knocked on your door, you wouldn't appreciate me right now. You can't judge what is important to somebody else. The fact that I'm reading a book and I want to finish this chapter and you knock on my door, I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to finish this book today. I can talk to you when I'm done with the book. This is my goal today, to finish my book. Love you to death, but I don't have time to talk to you right now about nothing. And I'm not talking about emergencies. I'm not talking about someone who needs help. Believe me, many people have helped me in emergency situations. When I called them and said, I'm in big trouble here, I need help, my jet ski's leaking gas, and people came running, and I so appreciate that. But the bottom line is that you do have to respect the fact that just because you don't appreciate what somebody else is busy doing doesn't mean that you can interrupt or make them stop doing it to entertain you. That's my point. It's being respectful. It's actually asking, are you busy? Do you have time to chat? I came over to see how you're doing, to catch up with you. Do you have time? And of course, the good old standby is to call first or to text. Hey, I've got some free time this afternoon. Do you have some time to chat? If you do, stop on up or I'll come see you. That's all cool. And don't be so afraid of being alone. I was an only child. I had to find ways to entertain myself because my grandmother was nuts. So a lot of friends didn't come to my house, and because my grandmother was nuts, I wasn't allowed to go to their house. So I was alone a lot as a little kid. I was an avid reader from far back as I can remember. 8 years old, I was reading books. Some of them were adult books too. I mean, big books. I learned to cross stitch when I was 11. County cross stitch. I did crocheting. I did knitting. I watched TV shows. I played jacks by myself. And I made up imaginary stories about what my life was, or I was somebody special, or I was an actress, and I used to do acceptance speeches in front of the mirror in the bathroom. But I always found a way to occupy my time. And it was great. Which is why I am so comfortable now as an adult, and yet people still say to me, you're alone so much, don't you get lonely? And you know what I say? You can't ever be lonely when you're with your best friend. And I've told you often enough, especially my young viewers, I am my own best friend. I love me. I look in my mirror every morning and I tell myself, I is smart, I is special, I is beautiful, and I is important. And I live the whole day like that. I am my own best friend. I am all I need to have a good day. Yes, it's lovely when you find people. In fact, I'm having dinner tonight with a dear, dear friend I haven't seen since November. I can't wait to hang out with her. But that doesn't mean that I'm not having a great day today, all by myself while Jason's at work. I'm having a great day. You can enjoy life by yourself as long as you are your own best friend. And you do need to set boundaries, even for your dearest friends. I hate it when I hear I see people who are never able to be alone. Even with their own spouses, they always have to have people surrounding them. They can't ever just be. Well, I'll tell you, just being is awesome. And think about this. In our society today, right now, it sounds pretty quiet in my house, right? This is my house. It's quiet, but you can hear the fan on my computer. And if you listen real easy, you can probably, if my neighbors walk up and down their steps, you'll be able to hear that. If my neighbor's furnace goes on, it's right here on this outside wall. You'll hear that. If my furnace goes on, you may hear it. I know I hear it. There is never silence in this world anymore where you can just turn everything off and listen to the wind blow. How often do you get to walk on a beach and be the only person on that beach? I know in today's society that's dangerous because there's probably a bad person on the beach, and if he's there and you're there or whatever, no one's going to be around to save you. And that's sad because I remember walking on a beach in the Cayman Islands and I was the only person there. And it was a wonderful experience. Listening to birds fly overhead, listening to the waves lapping on the beach. You could actually hear them. And there was not another soul around. That was true beauty. It was true peace. And it's hard to find in America today. Most people live in areas where you are on top of each other. Your neighbors have a party. You're invited to the party even if you're not at the party because you can hear it. Sometimes I can even hear my neighbor's television when it's on. And I'm sure they can hear mine. We don't ever just turn everything off and be with ourselves. The best time for reading a book is when everything is off. But how often can we actually get that? It's hard. Because even at night, there are cars driving by, the street lights are on, it's never really completely dark when you go to sleep. If you live in a city or in an area where there's a lot of people on top of you, living so close, you have no privacy. So think about it. Silence is golden and rare, and sometimes being alone is when some of us are the happiest. And we shouldn't be felt sorry for. We shouldn't have your sympathy. We should have your empathy. We should have you support our right to say, you know what, today's my day. We spend so much time with people we don't even like, with workmates and with noise all around us. And when we take time for ourselves, it should be respected. And especially we should be able to share honestly with those we care about the most. You know, it's just not a time. I'm not in the mood to chat today. Can we do it another time? Because I'm reading a book. I'm watching a show. Or you know what? I feel like taking a walk on the beach all by myself. Something to think about. Political Paula, out.